In a rare show of unity, almost every apex union in the regional rural bank sector has risen in protest. Their message is simple but strong. No to IPOs. No to privatization. Save the spirit of rural banking.
In a landmark move, the Department of Financial Services under the Ministry of Finance has issued a formal directive to sponsor banks, paving the way for regional rural banks to enter the capital markets. The letter, dated May 16, 2025, invites sponsor banks to recommend eligible RRBs for initial public offering, an IPO, by May 29, 2025. This means rural banks may soon be listed in the stock market, but only if they meet some very specific and strict financial criteria. Here are the key benchmarks laid out by DFS for eligibility. First, a net worth of at least 300 crore rupees in each of the last 3 years. Next, capital to risk weighted assets ratio must be consistently above regulatory norms for 3 consecutive years. They must also show profitability, with a pre-tax operating profit of at least 15 crore rupees in 3 of the past 5 years. In terms of returns, the bank must have a return on equity of 10% or more in at least 3 out of the last 5 years, and a return on assets of 0.5% or more, again, in 3 out of 5 years. Additionally, the bank must have no accumulated losses, must not be under prompt corrective action by the RBI or NABARD, and must be in full compliance with all statutory norms. Only financially strong, compliant, and profitable RRBs qualify. This move is part of a broader restructuring effort. Under the One State, One RRB policy, the number of regional rural banks has been reduced from 43 to 28 as of May 1, 2025. The Union government says this consolidation helps achieve scale efficiency and cost rationalization. The momentum picked up after a national RRB review meeting in Mumbai on May 5, 2025. There, sponsor banks were asked to assess capital market readiness, IPO preparedness, and recommend eligible RRBs. While the move may seem like a natural step toward financial autonomy, questions are being raised. Will public listing dilute the social mission of RRBs? Can market pressures affect the original goal of serving small farmers in rural communities? For over 50 years, RRBs have functioned with one primary mandate: to serve India's rural poor. This shift toward capital markets represents not just a financial transformation, but also a policy shift that could redefine their role in the rural economy.
The All India Regional Rural Bank Employees Association has strongly opposed this move, calling it a retrograde proposal and a backdoor entry to privatization of rural banks. According to RBI, the IPO plan is more than a financial step, it's a shift in ideology. They argue that public-owned rural banks, created to serve farmers, daily wage workers, and small rural businesses, cannot function with market-driven priorities. They believe this would shift the focus from service to profit, threaten job security and benefits for employees, undermine the social purpose for which RRBs were established. In response to structural challenges, RBI has proposed a bold alternative: the formation of a National Rural Bank of India, an apex institution to manage and regulate all 28 state-level RRBs. RBI insists that NRBI should be completely delinked from sponsor banks. Why? Because RBI says sponsor banks act both as master and competitor. This dual role creates conflict, especially when the same sponsor banks also operate branches in the same rural areas, leading to competition, not collaboration. Despite these structural issues, RRBs are performing strongly. Here are the numbers for financial year 25. Total business 12.40 lakh crore. Deposits 7.5 lakh crore. Advances 5.90 lakh crore. Net profit 7,148 crore. Profit reserves 53,000 plus crore. Gross NPAs 5.3%, the lowest in a decade. These are not the numbers of weak institutions. These are numbers that show strength, stability, and resilience. Instead of IPOs, RBI has outlined 5 key demands for the future of rural banking. No privatization of RRBs, scrap the IPO proposal. An apex body, free from sponsor bank control. Fill 30,000 plus current vacancies and 15,000 more over 3 to 4 years. Regularization of workers, especially casual and contractual employees, as seen in APGVB and CGGB. Roll back the new pension scheme and reinstate the old pension scheme. For RBI, the future of rural banking isn't about IPOs or private ownership. It's about trust, autonomy, and a system that serves the people first.
The current resistance to IPOs in regional rural banks didn't start overnight. Let's rewind to understand how we got here. Between 2020 and 2024, a quiet but steady shift began, setting the stage for the 2025 explosion. In the 2020 Union Budget, the Government of India clearly laid out its intent to disinvest and privatize select public sector enterprises. While RRBs weren't named directly, the philosophy of monetizing public institutions began to influence banking policy too. By late 2021, internal discussions at the Ministry of Finance and DFS started hinting at the idea of making strong RRBs market-ready. The goal? Push the better-performing RRBs towards self-sufficiency, even listing them in the future. On 14 September 2022, the Government of India issued a crucial directive to all RRBs, officially circulating guidelines for raising funds from the market through IPOs. It was a formal push toward public listing of RRBs, asking chairmen of RRBs and their sponsor banks to take necessary action. The RRB unions responded fiercely. Multiple strikes and demonstrations were carried out across India. Throughout 2023 and 2024, there was little public movement from the government, but internally, the groundwork continued. Some RRBs were reviewed for financial health, capital adequacy, and digital readiness, indicators that they could be potential IPO candidates. Unions grew more suspicious, especially as DFS and NABARD remained silent on clarifying whether the IPO idea had been dropped or delayed. By the time we reached early 2025, the stage was already set. Years of silent policy build-up, legal changes, and lack of transparency had deepened the mistrust between RRB staff and policymakers. So when 16 May 2025 directive was finally issued by DFS asking RRBs to prepare for IPOs, the unions didn't hesitate. They were ready. And so began one of the most coordinated rural banking protests in India's recent history.
On 3rd July 2025, every major apex-level RRB federation gathered in New Delhi and announced a joint nationwide protest. Signatories include All India Regional Rural Bank Employees Association, National Federation of RRB Employees, National Federation of RRB Officers, National Federation of Retired RRB Staff, All India Grameen Bank Officers Association, All India Grameen Bank Workers Organization, All India Grameen Bank Employees Association, and All India RRB Officers Federation. Together, they represent officers, clerks, workers, and retirees, thousands of employees speaking with one voice. After consultations, unions agreed on a phase-wise protest strategy, escalating actions branch by branch, region by region. They vow these programs will continue until they get specific assurance from the Government of India to scrap the IPO plan and settle all pending demands. For unions, this fight isn't about resisting change, it's about preserving purpose. RRBs were designed to channel credit to the underserved, not to chase quarterly earnings. As part of a coordinated phase-wise protest, members of All India Grameen Bank Workers Organisation and All India Grameen Bank Officers Organisation launched a black badge protest on July 1st and 2nd across hundreds of branches nationwide. The reason? Long-standing unresolved demands, now made urgent by the IPO push. On 9th July, the unions carried out lunch hour demonstrations and submitted memoranda to the DFS, NABARD and RRB chairpersons. The agitation will be carried out in phases as follows: 25th July, Dharna at RRB headquarters. 22nd August, nationwide one-day strike. If there's no response from DFS or NABARD, unions say the agitation will escalate. On 9th July 2025, as decided in the apex-level RRB union meeting in Delhi, thousands of employees and officers of regional rural banks across India came together for a nationwide one-day strike. Organized under the leadership of apex RRB unions, the strike raised strong objections to the IPO plan, privatization of rural banks, delayed recruitments, job insecurity, erosion of trade union rights, and rising contractualization. The unions warned that bringing in IPOs would commercialize banks meant for rural upliftment, dismantling their original social mission. In Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, protests were especially strong. In Hyderabad, ARBI Secretary General S. Venkateshwar Reddy and Andhra Pradesh Telangana Regional Rural Bank Employees Association President B. Ravikant led massive demonstrations. LIC unions joined in solidarity. In Siddipet and Kurnool, women employees led the way, raising slogans and holding placards symbolizing the deep impact of privatization fears across all levels. Telangana Grameen Bank staff turned out in large numbers, showing collective resolve. In Manipur, all 27 branches of Manipur Rural Bank were shut, a powerful statement from one of India's smallest northeastern states. Outside the Imphal branch, employees raised the strike banner high, joining the national movement with equal force. In Assam, employees of Assam Grameen Vikash Bank held large protest gatherings. From the heart of the northeast, their message echoed across regions: protect RRBs, say no to IPOs, preserve rural service. In Bihar, a powerful dharna was held across all 26 regional offices of Bihar Grameen Bank. In Uttar Pradesh, protest demonstrations were held in all districts outside regional offices of Uttar Pradesh Grameen Bank. Striking employees submitted memorandums to the bank chairman. Chain Singh Rawat, president of an FRRBO, told Kanal, RRB staff across the country have actively joined the Bharat Bandh in support of our demands. In Karnataka, employees of Karnataka Grameen Bank hit the streets in multiple districts. Officers and employees associations jointly led coordinated protests, uniting under a shared banner of resistance to privatization. Rajasthan witnessed high participation as well. Bankers from across the state joined forces to oppose the IPO move, demand justice for workers, and defend the developmental character of RRBs. Even heavy rains couldn't deter staff in West Bengal. Outside the Nadia regional office, employees gathered under umbrellas and determination, standing firm against privatization in defense of public service. On 21st July 2025, Tamil Nadu witnessed a strong and coordinated protest. Employees and officers from many branches of Tamil Nadu Grama Bank took part in the protest, led by Tamil Nadu Grama Bank Workers Union and Tamil Nadu Grama Bank Officers Association. Participants wore black badges with their core demands boldly printed, making their opposition visible and undeniable. Scrap IPO proposal in RRBs, no privatization, save RRB, save rural economy. Union leaders extended heartfelt thanks to all participants for making the protest day a resounding success. As the agitation enters its next phase, TNGBWU and TNGBOA have called for even stronger unity and readiness in the days ahead. Across states, the message was loud and united. The unions reaffirmed their demand, immediate withdrawal of the IPO proposal and serious discussion on pending issues. Without resolution, unions warned agitation will intensify. Those were not just strikes or protests, but a nationwide message, a call to preserve the people's banks. Will the government listen? Share this video and stay tuned on Kanal for exclusive coverage of the RRB and everything you need to know.